Okay, so today we got some extra info on the new patch that's gonna come on this week. Actually, I was gonna say next week, but it's actually tomorrow. So we did get this, which was developer note yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was 2 days ago. So it was 2 days ago we got this developer note, and in the developer note, oh, wrong thing. We had seen a lot of things in it, and those were things that the developers are working on. A lot of people thought that it was going to come out this week, but no, they're working on it, especially because they didn't give us a date. The new raid, the costume system is all like, they don't have a date for this. It's just, they're just working on it. They're just letting us know this is going to come eventually, so be prepared. The one thing that did come this week though is the improvements to PvP, or at least a part of it. So oh, first of all, actually, they're bringing back the costumes for the New Year's, but this time you can actually buy the missing costume. So when the New Year's units came out, they did a kind of a scummy system that you had to pull the unit and then also buy the remaining costumes. If you didn't pull the unit, you couldn't get the whole like costume thing set, and you wouldn't be able to activate the ability to get the raid that you want. So let's say you have the Meliodas. If you didn't pull the Meliodas, you would not be able to get the, I think it's the weapon? Or is it the costume? I think it's the actual costume itself, right? You wouldn't be able to actually get the clothes, right? You'd have to pull him for that, and you could only buy like the haircut. Now they actually allow you to buy the whole thing. So if you want it, you can buy it. And that's pretty cool. I don't think buying these costumes is that big of a deal, to be fair. I did buy them because I thought that they were not going to come back, but they did. But it's not that big of a deal to not have them if you can't buy them either. Like, choosing the raid that you want, like, at hindsight does look pretty dope, but when you're in endgame, you don't need to choose them, you just play them. You know, when you get invites, you join them. You know, it's not that big of a deal. But if you want to have them, there's your opportunity to get them, if you didn't pull one of the units. So, now, we're getting new engravings. So they are adding engravements pretty fast. Like, didn't they add engravements in, let me check this, in this patch? Yeah, they did. They added engravements for Bellion. Where is it? Oh man, I'm not gonna find this, am I? Okay, they did add engravements on this patch, I do recall that. I think it was for Bellion, yeah, Bellion, Elat, Lilian, Valenti. Okay, Elat, Lilia, Valenti, they're not like main story units, but still, they were added. So they're adding them pretty fast. Slater is getting UR gear or engravement. I will actually make SR gear. If you don't know, one good way of making easy to make gear is you like get a super really good rolled R gear and make it an SR. I've done that for Elizabeth and Gilthunder, just for the SRs, so I have them in the back. I'll do that for Slater. Red Slater is a really good support unit, not support unit, but one of those units that you have as a back unit. He's really good for it, so I might make an SR costume or SR set for Slater. Might even make a crit set for Blue Slater as well. So, engraving for Slater. This is this guy. Dude, the translation is so bad, but it's this guy right here. This guy, the arrow guy. The translation is so bad. Wine height. Jillian, it's the to be fair, these don't matter. Like, Simon kind of matters if you want to maximize your King Brum and give Simon as a back to Helbrum, but don't really matter. These engravements are not very good, except for Slater. Slater's pretty good, but that's pretty much it. And then they're changing this, so the things we talked about in the last video, they're kind of applying here. Now the Challenger class the matchup for the Challenger class is gonna be how many points you have, and not anyone in Challenger. This only changes for people that are in Challenger, by the way. If you're not in Challenger, it doesn't make a difference at all for you. And then also they're changing how points are in Challenger. According to how high you are, let's say in the top 100, you're gonna get extra points for the next season. I did see, I saw this in the Reddit Discord. Let me actually open up the Reddit Discord real quick. They have the translations there. It's gonna be better. Because I had peeked, because I wasn't sure if they were gonna add more stuff. Okay. Oh, they're not adding it yet. Okay. I thought they were. But yeah, the players with high scores will be matched with AIs. I thought they were implemented. So the next the season thing is not being implemented in this patch. Interesting. Okay, that's unfortunate. It's not that much then that they're implementing. Also, Slater is getting buffed. Good thing I opened it right there. Slater units are getting buffed on their base stats, which I think is great. Because again, I literally just got my Red SR Slater to 80. So they're increasing penetration for Slater. Okay. Well, I guess Blue Slater. Doesn't Blue Slater already have that penetration? Let me take a look. I think he does. He does. Okay, so Red Slater just had lower penetration. Okay, so they're just fixing Red Slater on that one, huh? Interesting. For some reason he didn't have it. But yeah, they're increasing their base stats, which is really good. Just adding extra a little bit of CP. It's pretty nice. It's not like that big of a deal, like the boost, but it's always nice. So I appreciate the buff. And that's pretty much it for the patch. So, because this video is going to be short, I wasn't even going to make it. But, I did want to talk about some stuff about the last patch. So, last patch happened and a few things were... some people, like very minority of people, didn't understand some stuff. So, on Twitter, I got like, first like, as soon as the patch dropped, one of the people that I recognize a lot, they interact with me, said that one of their friends told them that PvP was gonna stop giving gems or something, and then I thought nothing much of it, but like I think 5 or 6 other people also told me the same thing. I don't know if this was like a Discord like group thing, but in the patch notes, right, there's nothing about that. I think that they thought because PvP is kind of changing, but literally the only change for PvP is geared. And the game mode that gives you gems is not even geared. Like, it's ungeared. it's literally... It doesn't even make any sense. Again, when I saw the first time, I was like, his friend is probably trolling him or something. But then more people kept asking me about that. It's just... Please, don't spread misinformation. If you saw that out there talking about it, it's wrong. So, geared... All these changes... are all of them for geared, and they're all for challenger players. If you're not even challenger, it doesn't even matter to you. Like, I'm not challenger, I'm a masters. And then for ungeared doesn't even have challenger. It doesn't even have challenger to begin with. It's not gonna change. Ungeared, you're still gonna get your gems. If you can't get the 60 weekly gems, you're gonna still get it. It doesn't matter. So that's out of the way. That was just stupid. But one other thing that I wanted to talk about was the costume system. So I got a few comments on the video asking how exactly the costume system is going to work. And I saw some people on Twitter, especially a buddy of mine, Nolar. I know him. I discussed with him about it. The costume system, we don't know exactly how it's going to work. The only thing that he told us was that, okay, you're going to be able to level up and make a UR. Right? This way you are able to equip your favorite costumes of lower rarity or some rarely used costumes while increasing CP. This all looks good. Like right here, this looks really good because maybe you can make SR costumes SSR or SSR costumes UR, and then if you only have like, not if you only have low tier costumes, but if you have like a lot of low tier costumes and you don't have like any like good tier costumes on like your Meliodas or King or something, if you can make that costume like you are, it's gonna be really good for you, you know? So all this looks fine and dandy. And then they also said that the materials are gonna be obtainable during hell raids, which is good. Like one issue with hell raids is that there's no real reason to do hell. Like, I don't do hell. I can't do hell. Like, I can't do hell every time I want to do a raid, but I just don't. Because there's no reason. It's good. that they're actually doing that, and also in the new raid. So I'm assuming the costume app update is gonna come with this update as well. But my friend Nolar here, right? He played other Netmarble games. The developer of this game is called Netmarble, and he played the other Netmarble games. And he specifically played this Marvel game. Now I think it's not a good comparison, because you know how Disney is greedy. They probably were really punching on Netmarble to say, "Yo, you make this game pay to win." Fuck, dude. You know, they really were probably doing that. But still, he said that the costumes were a bad changes for it. Were bad, yeah. They said that the increasing for costumes was probably going to be bad. My boy Speedy jumped in. He said he explained what I just said, and then like no LARP doesn't play the game, so he probably doesn't know much about it. But the costume system looks fine, and then we were kind of manhandling him. We were all jumping on him. But it's because maybe a lot of people didn't understand it, and that's why I wanted to show this example. Because even someone that like is in the is within the gacha ecosystem, maybe doesn't, maybe they played other games that have costumes and it's like very pay to win. This seems pretty good. This with the costume seems pretty good. We have to wait for it to come out. I was planning on making like a video just theorizing how it's gonna be, but literally there's not much to theorize. It's pretty much what I just said. If it is what it is, what they're saying, if it's how they're promising, it all looks good. If they make it super grindy and you have like they make you buy packs that have it, most likely you won't have it. You won't have to buy it. There's no packs in the game that you have to buy. So especially if you're a good player, like all these like raid packs that they serve to you, they're all bad. Don't buy them, by the way. If you're a good player, you don't need them at all. So this all looks fine. But again, Nolar, he's played other Netmarble games, and he said in the past to me that Netmarble, like, they're a terrible company because of the other Netmarble games that they have. But he's seen that like apparently this Netmarble is a different Netmarble. Like, it's probably a different studio, because these gacha game studios, they probably have like multiple like studios within the studio, right? There's probably like a different section. So this whole costume thing, like this whole update's been pretty weird. It's what happens when we get info for an update and it doesn't come right away, right? We don't know exactly how it's gonna work. I'm hoping that this, by the way, is also gonna be good. This seems like it's gonna be kind of a drag if it's done bad. Because if it requires 4 players, imagine having to make a 4-player party, you know, and every player has 4 units, and we're gonna have to wait for everyone to play. So again, it all comes with questions, right? How is it gonna play out? How is it gonna work? I trust Netmarble that they're gonna do a good job with all of that, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So, but then the patch tomorrow is just this. It's not much.